Sport is not immune from the social hardships also affected by the failing water infrastructure in the country. Canoeing and surfing are among those hit the worst. However, it's not just in the water sporting codes that the effects are being felt. The issue troubles the sporting fraternity at large. For more on this, I'm joined by eNCA's Siphokazi Malinga. A very good afternoon, Siphokazi. Great to talk to you. Water sports is a big part of the country given our coastlines. How important is the issue of water quality? Snare.
A very good afternoon to you, Arthur. A very important issue and a very big concern for athletes as well, and for the sporting code as a whole. It's affected a lot of people. A lot of athletes are actually looking to venture into other sports because of the water quality, the poor water quality rather, high E. coli in the water. We know that in December beaches were closed because of the high E. coli in the water. I do have a professional surfer here with me, Ntando Msibi, who I'm quickly going to chat to about just how much it has affected him, or how much will it affect him should the problem get any bigger. Ntando, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me this afternoon.
No problem.
So we do know that Durban was affected by the high E. coli in the water. We do know that other athletes were also affected. How has it affected you? Are you concerned about the water quality, the poor water quality rather?
I am concerned about the poor water quality because it has to do with our jobs. You know, it's something we love. It feeds us. Yeah, so it does affect the sport that we are doing.
Should the problem somehow get any bigger and it's not fixed with urgency, what do you think is going to happen to your professionalism in the sport?
If something like this keeps on going, it's a matter of like us ending up doing other jobs that we don't even like. You know, we might have to relocate to different areas because of such a small matter that can be fixed. You know, yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. I'm also going to speak to Jean-Marc Thotsti, who is a shop owner here, surf shop owner, and he's also been hugely affected. So his business hasn't been doing well because of such things. Jean, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me. How has this poor water quality in Durban affected you?
It's been a disaster last year because after the floods in April, we ran all the way through to December with beach closures in Durban. And that's because the sewage pumps weren't working properly. The beach closures then resulted in business problems for us. So every month our turnover, our store's been here about 30 years. So every month we were 30 to 40% down on turnover for 8 months in a row. Is pretty heavy going. Had to work hard to keep things open and keep the staff employed. Next door to us, 2 surf shops closed down. My friends who do bicycle rentals on the beachfront, that kind of business, the tourists didn't come. So the water problem impacts for Durban on tourism and an entire industry like surf. Durban is the 3rd biggest exporter of surfboards in the world. So you've got China, you've got America, those are massive countries, and then you've got Durban. So if we're not surfing, and guys like Ntando, who works for me, if they can't practice their sport, what are we supposed to do next? And it all comes down to the filtration, the sewage pumps, and the water filtration. So one is the sewage and E. coli, and the other one is the problem now we're seeing cholera outbreaks, which are not related, but the problem and the symptom is the same. It's water purification plants aren't running, just like the sewage pumps. And it's something the government have to fix. They've got the budget. They must fix it instead of squandering the money.
Speaking about the government, I understand that you've taken matters to the government themselves. Can you just shed a little bit more light on that?
Yeah, so as matter of urgency, civilians are having to rise up and fight back. We've just seen silly mistakes being made, and we need to have them stopped. So we have a formal NPO registered. It's called Save Our Seas and Rivers from Sewage. It's headed up by top legal brains, retired state prosecutors, attorneys, advocates, top water-based engineers, all giving their time and work for free. So they're working with us to find the root of the problem and to work with the city council here in eThekwini, to take it to them and go, here's the problems as we can see them, and these are how you fix them. You can't just take every sewage pump and say, we need 30 million for a new pump. Those aren't the problems. Often it's just a power link to the pump that works, and yet they're quoting 30 million. So the money is being squandered in the wrong place, and we're just hoping that with the NPO and with these very intelligent people who are all on board for free, or concerned civilians who don't want to run away to another country. They want it fixed and they were prepared to help. So we've taken the matter. It's going to be a matter in the High Court if the city doesn't react in the way we hope that they do. And we know that even from the Department of Water, and it's coming from the top down to the municipalities, that they must allocate the budgets accordingly.
Thank you so much for your time. Well, Arthur, thank you. That was Ntando Msibi and Jean-Marc Tosti just basically shedding lights about how it has affected them. And I mean, you heard Ntando say that they will have to move into another country maybe, or even branch into another sport, because this is a huge concern. You've also heard Mr. Tosti saying that the shop has been affected. We heard him say that a couple of other shops have been closed down. So it is a huge concern, and it's something that needs to be looked at with urgency.
Thank you very much for your time, Siphokazi Malinga. Chat soon. Obviously, just speaking there in KwaZulu-Natal regarding the water crisis that has affected many sports in that beautiful province. All right. Well